You ever feel like Marvel Rivals is straight up playing favorites, and you're not one of them? One day you're climbing the ranks like it's nothing, and the next, you're getting slapped back down by sweaty 5 stacks while your team's off doing God knows what. Yeah, I've been there. And here's the thing, it's not your fault. You're not washed, you didn't suddenly forget how to play. The problem? It's the matchmaking system. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to flip it. How to use the matchmaking system against itself to make it favor you. Sounds like a big claim? It is, but stick around, because I've got the proof. Let's kick things off by shattering the biggest myth in online gaming, especially in Marvel Rivals. Matchmaking is all about your skill level. I know. That's what we've all been led to believe, right? That if you play well, you rank up. You get good teammates, you get fair matches. Simple cause and effect. But here's the thing, in games like Marvel Rivals, especially ones developed by NetEase, that's just not how it works anymore. It's way more complicated. Behind the scenes, there's something running called engagement-optimized matchmaking. A mouthful, I know. But it's basically an algorithm designed not to make fair games, but to keep you playing. Now, this isn't some wild conspiracy theory. This is backed up by actual research, including a presentation by a NetEase engineer at the Game Developers Conference and a detailed AI paper from NetEase's own lab in 2024. Let me break this down in simple terms. You would think matchmaking is mostly looking at your MMR, your ping, maybe the average win rate of the players. That used to be true. But now it's watching. Win and loss streak. How long you play in one session. Whether you rage quit. What roles or heroes you play. How often you come back after a loss, and even whether you're happy or frustrated. Yep, happiness is an actual variable here. There's a quote from the official paper that straight up says, "Is game fairness the only critical factor for player engagement?" The answer is no. They literally admit it. Fairness is secondary. The system is built to manipulate your emotions to keep you playing, and it does this through patterns. Let's say you're on a win streak, you're feeling good, you keep playing. The system tracks that and goes, okay, this player is in a good mood, they're not quitting, we don't need to do anything. But if you start losing, and you keep queuing up, determined to get your rank back, it goes, they're hooked. They'll keep going even if we give them more losses. Let's keep them in that losing streak to stretch out their session. It's basically like a casino. The system keeps feeding you wins and losses in a way that keeps you emotionally invested. Just enough highs to keep you chasing the next one. Just enough lows to make you feel like you need to keep playing to fix it. And if you've ever felt like your games suddenly turn sweaty out of nowhere, or like the game just flips a switch on you mid-session, it's probably not in your head. The matchmaking system might literally be adjusting based on your behavior. In fact, the research shows that the system predicts how likely you are to leave the game, or stick around, based on your recent match history. They call this your churn rate. If you've won 3 games in a row, you're feeling great. Your churn risk is low, so the system is more likely to hit you with a hard match to balance things out, because it knows you'll keep playing. But if you just lost 3 in a row and you're close to uninstalling, your churn risk goes up. Now the system wants to win you back, so it might throw you into a match with better teammates or easier opponents to stop you from quitting. This is what we mean when we say it's not just skill-based, it's skill plus engagement. And once you understand that, once you see the matchmaking system not as a test of your ability, but as a behavioral engine built to keep you playing, you can start bending it to your advantage. Alright, this is where things get real. Because now that you understand that Marvel Rivals' matchmaking system is driven by your engagement, not just your skill, you can start playing the system instead of letting it play you. And it starts with one simple rule. Stop playing after a loss. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You just lost, so your natural instinct is to jump right back in and fix it. You think, I just had a bad game. Next one I'll win. Let me get my points back. But here's the trap. The matchmaking system knows you're going to do that. It's seen you do it before. You lose a match, you queue up again. You lose again, you're frustrated but still playing. You keep playing, that tells the system you're comfortable with losing, and that's when it decides. Perfect. Let's keep this guy in hard matches. He's engaged. You're not playing ranked anymore. You're stuck in what feels like a rigged treadmill. One loss becomes 2. then 3. And suddenly you've dropped 4 divisions, questioning your sanity and wondering if the matchmaking is broken. And it kinda is, but not in the way you think. Here's the move. When you lose, especially after a big win streak, stop. Get off the game. Take a break. Minimum a couple hours. Even better, wait until the next day. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is backed by research from NetEase's own AI team. In a research paper from 2024, they literally state that players who stop playing after a loss are flagged as high churn risks, meaning the system sees you might quit for good. And guess what? The next time you log back in, it's going to want to win you back. You'll get easier opponents, better teammates, a soft match to make sure you stick around. People who've tested this method call it one loss and leave, and the results are wild. Players who used to be stuck in low rank started climbing fast, not by improving their skill, but by improving their timing. Here's another thing to think about. If you only leave after losing, the algorithm learns. It starts associating losing with you logging off. And if the system is trying to maximize time played, it starts reducing your losses, simply because it wants you in the game longer. That's how powerful this method is. You're not hacking the game, you're hacking its expectations of you. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what if I'm on a win streak? Should I stop then too? Nope. In fact, the opposite. You want to push your win streaks as far as they'll go. Here's why. That same NetEase research paper shows that players on a 3-win streak have the lowest churn risk, meaning the game knows you're having fun and it wants to keep the momentum going. So it's more likely to feed you more favorable matches. So what you do is ride the wave. Keep playing until you lose. That's the signal to stop. Remember, it's all about rhythm. You're either going with the algorithm or getting crushed by it. And one more thing. This only works if you're disciplined. Most players get stuck in the loop because they can't stop. They need to get their rank back. But the more emotional you get, the more likely you are to fall into the system's trap. So treat your session like a high-stakes poker game. If you're winning, keep going. If you're losing, cash out. Walk away. Let the system come to you. You're not just a player anymore. You're playing the matchmaker itself. Now, I know this all sounds kind of insane, right? Like some Illuminati-level matchmaking conspiracy. But once you realize this is just a business strategy disguised as gameplay, it starts to make way more sense. Because let's be honest, games like Marvel Rivals aren't just about competition anymore. They're live service ecosystems. They're designed not just to be played, but to be played for as long as possible. Retention is the real game, and you're the prize. That's why it's no longer just about how well you perform. It's about how much control you give to the system. And here's where you can take that control back. Number 1, train the algorithm, don't let it train you. Think of the matchmaking system like a dog you're trying to train. Every time you queue up after a loss, you're giving it a treat for bad behavior. It learns, cool, I can throw you into a rough match and you'll still stick around. But if you consistently walk away after losing, now it's confused. Wait, they stopped playing. Did we go too far? That's where you flip the script. This method isn't about beating the system in one session, it's about conditioning it over time. Just like the AI is learning you're slowly teaching it how to treat you. And the more consistent you are with this pattern, the more consistently it will respond the way you want. It's a weird game of psychological chicken, but if you're disciplined, you win. Number 2, session timing is everything. Let me put this plainly. When you play might matter more than how you play. Short sessions with clear stop points, especially after a loss, send the signal that your time is valuable. That you're not just endlessly grinding, that you could leave at any moment. The algorithm doesn't like that. It prefers predictable grinders it can exploit. So if you're playing in long 4-hour sessions, grinding game after game, whether you're winning or losing, the system tags you as stable, which means it's safe to throw you into some pain. You'll keep playing anyway. But if you're hopping on for just half an hour, 2 matches max, and dipping the second things go south, that's unstable behavior. It gets flagged. That makes the system work harder to keep you. Pro tip, try playing at the same time every day for short bursts. If you condition the system to expect a pattern, you'll have more influence when you break that pattern. Number 3, play multiple roles, but intentionally. There's another piece people miss when trying to beat matchmaking: diversity in your hero pool. The system loves when you play only one role. Why? Because it knows how to matchmake against you. It can toss you into teams that don't synergize with your pick. Or worse, set you up against your counter heroes on purpose. But if you're a 2-role player, a bit of duelist here, a bit of support there, now you're harder to predict. You become what I call algorithm slippery. You can't be pinned down, and that reduces the system's ability to feed you predetermined matches. Even if you only flex 1 or 2 backup characters, that alone makes the system treat you differently. You stop being a pattern and start being an outlier. And when it comes to rigged systems, being an outlier is a huge advantage. Number 4, never queue immediately after a tilted game. Look, we have all been there. The game that should have been a win, but someone disconnected or fed or stood still in spawn dancing the whole match while typing in all chat. And your gut instinct is to get that game back right now. Reclaim your dignity. But you need to resist that impulse. Why? Because that next queue, it won't be what you think it is. The system knows you're tilted. It's measured your performance drop. It's seen the way your damage dipped or your positioning got sloppy. So treat tilted losses like poison. Don't touch the queue for a while. Cleanse your mindset. Reset the system's read on your mental state. Come back fresh, and you'll be amazed at how different the match feels. Look, I'm not saying this system is evil. I get it. Engagement keeps the game alive. It pays the devs, it supports the servers. But at the end of the day, you are the one putting in the time, the energy, the frustration, the hype. You deserve to feel like the matches are fair, that your effort actually moves the needle. And if the game isn't going to guarantee that, then it's time to play smart. You're not just playing Marvel Rivals anymore, you're playing the game behind the game. So start acting like it. Track your sessions, leave after a loss, protect your energy. Play with the algorithm, not against it. And when you finally rank up, not because you grinded endlessly, but because you played the system right. That win's gonna hit different. If this video helped you rethink how matchmaking works, do me a favor. Don't hit Q again right now. Instead, hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Catch you in the next one.